We are back. When we left off, the last thing we got was the cobblestone generator here. I've made a little bit of a change so that the cobblestone doesn't go into the lava every time. But when we left off, we were trying to get through the Stone Age. So let me go to the achievement here. So this is the Stone Age achievements. It looks like we just need to upgrade our Silent Gear tools with stone materials and obtain obsidian. I have went through and upgraded our axe to a stone axe, and I just did that by crafting a new axe. I don't know if that's how it's expecting me to do it, but I did craft the silent axe. So we got the axe template here using our template boards and a couple of sticks. That allowed us to craft the axe template, and then we just crafted it out of stone now rather than our wooden version. The next thing we need to do is obtain obsidian, and I've figured out how to do that. I think what we need to do is first get some stone, and we have stone slabs as well. Go ahead and craft a stone barrel. I'll throw that down, and now we need a bucket and some more lava. Alright, now that we have our lava, go ahead and throw that into the stone bucket. Throw in some water here, and then I think we just right click with water on top of this, if I'm not mistaken. Let me build up around this just so it doesn't scatter all the torches we have around. And now we'll throw the water on top. Alright, that crafted us some obsidian. Just right click that. That gave us obsidian, and now we can check that off of our list. Obsidian and Silent Gear tools. Alright, so now we're through with the Stone Age. We're going into the Chromatic Age now. Throw dye into water to change its color. Interesting. Before we do that, let me go ahead and make an endless water source here. Alright, we got an endless source now. I'm not going to change the color of our endless source. So let me make a small pool here to do this. Alright, so now we have that. Let us take some of our dye. I guess it doesn't really matter what color dye. I guess we'll dye the water blue. As funny as that is, let's give that a shot. Let's see some particle effects. There, okay, the water's blue. Let's try some different colors. Let's try black, that seems like that would be cool. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Alright, I don't really know what this does, but it wants us to change the color of water, so there it is. Use colored dyed water to convert sand into a dye block. Interesting. Okay, I guess we'll have to get some sand real quick. Oh, we've got some right here. Let's try to make some black dye. Let's go ahead and throw that in here. Oh, there it is. Cool. Alright. That gives us 9 dye each. That's amazing, actually. That's a really good way to replicate dyes. So that's a way to accelerate progression of dyes, so that's cool. Click on color leaf block with dye to create flowers. Alright, we have a black tree. Let's try it with a black dye first, see if that changes anything. Okay, my bad. I was doing it with the block of dye. It says do it on the block, leaf block. Okay. Boom. Okay. Sweet, that gave us Wither Rose. That's actually crazy. Sweet. So we have Wither Roses now. We can turn that again into black dye. Let's go ahead and use the rest of this. Grab as many of these Wither Roses as we can. We should have 9. Nice. Okay. Let me test something out. Can I use blue dye on a black flower? Okay, it just changes the color of the leaf. All right. As you guys can see, I spent a bit of time building a few things for the base. I added the dyed water on top of the dripstone so that whenever it drips down, we can add sand to the dyed water, and that will give us dyes on repeat. It's essentially an infinite dye source, which is amazing. I added some extra RGB dyes here because that's what we're going to have to use for this printer. The printer is giving us materials. And then I also crafted this pulverizer, which is giving us sand so that we can use it for the dyes. I added the item cables here to automate the entire process. So we have sand on this side, and then the dyes will come out on this side. If we throw sand in, it will spit that out. Same thing here, sand into dyes. One other thing is that we were able to craft some additional colors and actually finish up our color book. So look at this. We now have every single color unlocked, so we finished the rainbow. And the way we were mainly able to do that was by using eggplants. So eggplants gave us the purple dye, as well as onions. I can't remember which color onions gave us, but eggplants and onions gave us the rest of the colors that we needed. And now we can continue with the rest of the book. So let's see what our next objective is here. Speed up your machines by capturing the Warden with the Industrial Foregoing Souls mod. So I think the Industrial Foregoings, if I'm not mistaken, that would be the mob imprisonment tool, which is a very common mod used in Minecraft. Any mod packs, if you played that, you know this imprisonment tool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to farm for white loot bags, and then maybe that will get us the gas. As for the other one, I think we will need for this plastic, we're gonna need so we're gonna need this latex processing unit, as well as I believe the fluid extractor maybe. I'm almost positive we're gonna need this one as well, and that will pull sap essentially from the trees, and then we can use the latex processing unit to actually turn it into rubber. So let's see what we can do about that. I don't know if that's the only way. I guess that's the way we'll have to get the imprisonment tool. And then the Warden will probably have to be, again, out of one of these spawner orbs here. I don't think we have anything, so maybe we'll just farm for loot bags now and get that finished up. Alright, so rather than just mining trees over and over, again, that's the kind of a brute force way of playing modded Minecraft. What I'm going to do here is actually craft this plant gatherer. I think this is the right one. If it's not, then I will try to craft the one that it should be, but I'm pretty sure this is the right one. So what I'm going to do is craft this plant gatherer. This will allow us, I guess, to mine trees and then collect the loot and resources from that. I'm going to see if this is a better way of doing it. We're going to need the trees regardless for the wood, the dyes, everything like that. It does have 2 iron axes, so I'm guessing that it can chop down trees. That wouldn't make very much sense otherwise. We'll also need this latex unit still, so I'm going to keep trying to make that. But in order to get the gas and the Warden, I'm pretty sure we're going to need those loot orbs. So I'm just going to add this plant gatherer on top and craft the fluid extractor, the latex processing unit, as well as this plant gatherer. Okay, so now we have these two. I'm just going to try to place them over here, I guess, for the moment. I think the fluid extractor is going to have to go on one of these trees, so let me just place it on this one for now. Let's see what we can do with that. I don't think it needs power. I think power speeds it up a little bit. And as you can see, every time this work goes down, it's gathering a little bit of latex. Each bucket's going to craft a bit of latex, so this is going to take a while. I may move the generator over here to kind of progress this, or maybe probably just craft another generator so that we don't have to waste all of our machines over there while we're using this one. I'm going to put the latex processing unit over here. They don't need to be side by side necessarily, so we'll just add this to our wall of cables here. It's powered, so now we just have to add water and latex, and that will spit out the rubber, the tiny rubber that we'll need to craft this dry rubber. So, and they may have actually changed, mods change, so maybe we don't even need the tiny rubber for this. Maybe it'll just spit out dry rubber instead, which would be nice. Most mods, though, will spit out smaller versions, and then you have to combine them, but we'll see whenever we get far enough to actually use this thing. So, in the meantime, I'm just going to craft another Stirling Dynamo to speed up the fluid extractors, so let me do that. As a matter of fact, I don't even think we need a tree, so rather than crafting another Stirling Dynamo, let me just try this. Let me place a log down right here. We'll place the fluid extractor. We'll just manually replace this for now. We'll just manually replace this for the moment. So that we lost all of our latex that we processed from that, but it's processing so much faster now. These blocks will break over time, so we'll just let it go now. We won't have to craft another Stirling generator, and this will allow us to get the plant gatherer. So this is great. All right. So now that we have the latex bucket, I just pulled it right out of the fluid extractor. What we're going to do is we're going to put it in here. That gives us one little bit of latex. I'm going to go ahead and grab a pretty good bit of water here. Throw that into the processing unit as well. And it spits out the dry rubber chunk. So it looks like we pretty much just need 2 of these for the plant gatherer. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer for the bucket to fill again, and then we'll be able to craft the plant gatherer. This is actually a lot easier than in most modded series. So I think from what we do now is grab this, and then we can smelt this down. Oh, there's some sticks in my inventory. There we go. So let's smelt this down. This is going to give us the plastic. There it is. Okay, there's 1 plastic. We'll just need 1 more. We'll need 4 more for the imprisonment tool, but I'm going to use this to automate, hopefully, the loot bags. If we automate the loot bags, that would be amazing. We'll be able to get all of the mobs and stuff. And I think that'll expand our progression a lot better than me manually mining a bunch of trees. There are a couple of other machines in the Industrial Foregoing mod that are going to be really good for our progression, especially that are going to pair with this plant gatherer. There is I believe there's a plant fertilizer, so let me see. We've got the plant fertilizer here. This one looks like it may be a little bit, yeah, this one may be a little bit more difficult. We'll need this dissolution chamber, which is not too bad, actually. The plant fertilizer, we can make this one pretty simply. The other one that we need is, I believe, the plant sower. This is to plant our trees automatically. So once we have these 3 machines, we'll be able to automate wood gathering, and then we can just put a bunch of different trees all in the area of the plant sower and the plant gatherer. All right, just like that, we have the plant gatherer. I need to see the range on this thing, so let's look here. It's the wrong way. Let's do it like this. Can we show the range? Show working area. So right now it's just using this 1 block. I think we'll need this. We'll need more plastic for that. For right now, let's just see if we can get it to work with the white sapling. So let's try this. There's a white sapling here. I'll just try and grow the white tree right here. Hopefully it doesn't collide with anything we have built here. I think we'll be all right. There we go. All right, so let's see. It gathers the tree. Look at that. That was so quick. So it gathered everything. We'll be able to move that wherever we want. We'll probably have a chest or something along those lines. We'll need the plastic again, like I said, for the range upgrade. We will put all of that back behind here for now. 16 trees. I'll just try and put them side by side like I was mentioning. And yeah. Alright, so I was able to get some more plastic. I'm gonna go ahead and craft an iron upgrade here to see how much that will give us. We'll probably expand this in the future, but just wanted to add a little bit longer than I think we'll probably end up needing. Let's look at the working area. Okay, yeah, so that's plenty long enough. We can add as much dirt onto this as we want now, and we have plenty of working area for this. We will also have to get, like I said, that fertilizer. So I don't know how I'm going to plant the fertilizer. I'll probably have to get an extra range upgrade so that it can cover the entire area here. Just probably place it right here. Cover the entire area with a larger range upgrade. And then the sowing one, I'll have to figure out how to get under here and work underneath the area here. So again, we're just waiting on latex for the most part. I was able to add it where the latex outputs on this left side here. So I did a push and a pull on the latex. That's putting the latex in this left compartment. I'll have to manually just put water into the latex unit for the moment. I'm not going to automate that. It's kind of pointless for now. But we at least have tree growth now. I'm going to add as many of these white saplings as I can. And I'm going to keep monitoring this to see if it adds the loot crates or the loot bags. So let me just keep going here and we'll see. Alright, so after farming for just a couple of trees, it looks like these white loot bags are going into the loot storage here, which is great. I don't know how many of these I'm going to need. Let me just open these, see if I can get a gas real quick. Honestly, don't even know if we get gas from those. Goat Gateway, Titan Llama. We're gonna have to create an arena to fight all these things. So we'll just need to keep going. Let me actually look up and see if we can get a gas from. Oh yeah, there it is. Gateway Pearls, Gas Gateway. So Gas Gateway, there it is. So 1% chance. I don't know how we're gonna fight these things though. I'll probably have to craft a bow, I guess, because it's gonna be pretty difficult to get them with just a sword unless I have an indoor place. So. Alright, so I was able to craft the sower here. I've placed it down underneath where our dirt is going to be. I'm going to have to craft a range upgrade, but I went ahead and crafted some more flux ducts and connected the sower that way. It doesn't look like it's being powered. We need to get another range upgrade, so let me see if I can craft another. Again, we're going to have to wait for latex, unfortunately, so I wonder if there's a way to get like a speed upgrade for this. Speed. Okay, we'll need the dissolution chamber for that. Let me see how to craft this. Looks like it's pretty straightforward, but again, it needs plastic. Everything needs plastic, so I'm going to try and craft the dissolution chamber, maybe get some speed upgrades so that we can kind of speed up the process of the plastic. It seems like plastic is our weakest link here. I'll have to keep going and getting that. I'm sure we'll need it a lot in the future, so it's going to be beneficial to set up this dissolution chamber where we can get our speed upgrades going for all of these industrial foregoing machines and stuff. So alright, we got our white loot bags, so let me empty my inventory a little bit. It's good enough. Let me go ahead and open these. We're looking for, again, the gassed orbs from the white loot bag, so let's see it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sheep, Titan gas. That's not really what we're looking for. Titan panda, Titan skeleton. Okay, so the farming continues. All right, so while this has been going, we've been collecting a little bit here. Hasn't been too long. I went ahead and added an item cable so that it's automatically transferring the white saplings we get from our plant gatherer here. Is pulling it directly out of the plant gatherer. I added a filter data card to this so that it only pulls white saplings. So that's pulling automatic. So this replanting process is all automated now. It's very slow, especially at night because there's no light. I need to add some torches and stuff around here. This may help out a little bit. I don't think it's going to help out too much, honestly. Let me go ahead and just throw these down so they're not crowding my inventory. But in the meantime, I went ahead and started crafting the dissolution chamber. So now I should have enough wood here craft a normal chest. It doesn't like the colored chest for some reason, so we have the dissolution chamber now. Let me go ahead and throw that here. We're running out of storage spaces, so I'm going to have to expand that a little bit. And we need some more power, so I've been slowly over time just crafting some coal here. I'm going to go ahead and add this here. And now with the dissolution chamber powered, we are able to add the latex into this. So let me go ahead and turn off the latex processing here. I don't think we need that at the moment. Run with redstone signal. Now we should be able to move the latex there. The other thing that we were needing to craft was this plant fertilizer. So in order to craft the plant fertilizer, we're going to need this simple machine frame. The simple machine frame will take the pity machine frame, some plastic, iron, nether brick, gold gear. In order to get nether brick, we need netherrack, which is red dye and pink dye, to craft a netherrack. And then we'll just need the latex in the center. I'm not entirely sure if this plant fertilizer uses bone meal. I'm guessing it would. Maybe by the time we are able to gather enough of these saplings, to fill out our sower here, we'll be able to pipe the remaining ones over into some barrels. I don't know if we can automate the barrel production piece of it. Maybe I can just pipe it to a chest up here and then have some. We actually can pump into the barrels. What am I talking about? We're doing it here. So I can just automatically pump them into these so that we can automatically craft the dirt or bone meal. And then once we can craft the bone meal with this composter, then we should be able to send that directly to the fertilizer and automate this entire process, which will speed it all up and allow us to craft more bone meal and speed the whole process up. So that would be nice. The whole point of us doing this, though, is to get these white loot bags. So looks like the sun is coming up. I should be able to grow these a little bit more, but before we do that, let's go ahead and we got one white loot bag in here. Let's see if we get the ghast. So let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Dun, dun, dun. Nope, it's a Titan. Titan sheep. Dang it. Okay. Well, we'll just keep going. We need the ghast. Let's see also how we get the warden. So the warden is a cyan, yes. So we'll need cyan, gate pearls. This one looks like it might be a little bit easier to get because there's not as many cyan mobs. The white mobs, obviously, there's tons of them, so it's a lot harder to get. So once we get the warden, I think we should just be able to grab it, grab one of them. I don't know if it looks like there might be multiple waves. Yeah, so 3 waves of the wardens. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually beat that. Maybe we'll build down and have a little platform way down there for the warden. I don't know if he can teleport up to our base. We just need to make sure we're fighting him far enough away that he's not going to ruin our run here and just continuously kill us on repeat at our own base. So that is one thing we'll have to take into consideration. And I don't know what we're going to do about the gas. We're going to need some type of bow or something. We're working towards that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see. We have some other things we can do here. We can backtrack to this while the white dyes and stuff are going, or the white trees are getting farmed. I'll continue to add dirt to this to speed up that whole process. I want to add dirt to this entire area. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep farming here so that we can gather saplings and stuff. As a matter of fact, we can probably pull out these saplings and go ahead and craft some more dirt in the meantime. And then once we get more dirt, it'll allow us to gather more saplings. So we just keep investing into our system. In the meantime, we need to figure out some more power. Create passively cooled reactor from the bigger reactor mod. So I've used the Biggs reactor mod. At least it used to be called the Biggs reactor mod. Looks like it might be called the bigger reactor mod now. This is a super good mod. One of the best power mods for how simple it is to do. Cyanite dust. Okay, so here it is. Uranium, grit, and sand is how we craft cyanite. I'm guessing this is the power for the mod. I think we're going to need a bunch of graphite, so that's good that I crafted a bunch of that coal, because I think that's how we make it. So I have a bunch of coal here now. Again, this wood farm here is getting us wood on, on surplus, so I'm able to craft a bunch of charcoal here. So I'm just going to keep that process up, keep crafting charcoal. Might as well just go ahead and start crafting graphite as well. And we'll keep going. The best way for me to progress right now is just semi-AFKing here and just watering can all of these trees rather than waiting for the tick to update it there. So I'm just going to keep upgrading these trees, letting it automatically... There's a bee's nest there. Let's see if this picks this up. What? Okay, I'm on the tree, but the beehive is still there. I think whenever it turns night, we should be able to pick this up. There's a ton of bees in that hive. My goodness. We actually don't have Silk Touch, so we can't pick it up. So maybe I'll just take these guys out for right now. This may have been a mistake. That was a big time mistake. Alright, we got the bees. I'm going to go ahead and take out the hive. It looks like we got something here. Epic hat grab bag. Let's see the hat. Epic hat. Firework? Do we replace our afro? I mean, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'll hold on to that, but we'll keep the afro for now. I like being throwed out. Infernium seed. We have that, right? We've already got the Infernium seed. I swore I already used that. Alright, so with a quick Google search, I figured out that Infernium, as you can see, we've already got some, comes from lime saplings. So let me just go ahead and grow one of these and show you. There we go. Go ahead and knock it down. As you can see, the Infernium dropped. We got some there. There's some more. Pick some more up right there. So we got 9 now. I think that's enough to craft the Infernium seed, and now we can just... again, automate the process. I don't think we're going to be going for the Warden anymore. I don't know how we're going to fight Ghasts or Wardens right now. So I think this Infernium option here, this is just a farming, again, a passive thing. I can set that up with our setup here. Just set up Infernium. I think I can just place water right in the middle and pretty much get most of the area here covered with dirt. And we should be able to mass produce Infernium. I think that's going to be better because I'm pretty sure Infernium is going to be really good for furnaces and gear. Once we get the Infernium gear, so as you can see, Infernium chest piece, it uses diamond. We can go up the tier list here. So Infernium is used to craft better and better tiers of essence here. So once we get all the way to, I think, the red or purple tier, red, I think there might be one additional tier past red generally in Infernium. Doesn't look like the purple tier is on here. We can use this red Supremium to actually craft gear. So let's look at the Supremium ingot. So we can craft Supremium sword. These tools are unbreakable, so Supremium leggings, they're super, super strong. We also have the Supremium furnace, which smelts materials at record speed. So as you can see, cooking speed is 4,000%, 40 times faster than normal, and fuel efficiency is 800%. So it can craft, I guess, a full stack of items with one piece of coal, which is nuts. So I think just, spamming these Infernium seeds, I think we actually might be able to craft better and better seeds too. So it's not just the Infernium seeds. Maybe it is. Maybe it is just the Infernium seeds. I'm not sure. But we're going to go ahead and start producing the Infernium here. So let me go ahead and craft some seeds. I'll get this process automated here, and then we'll be able to hopefully get better and better gear and start fighting some of these Titan orbs, because this seems really cool. So let's give that a shot. All right, so just like that, I used a pretty good bit of this dirt here to just grow a bunch of wheat, and then I ended up getting a bunch of seeds out of that. And I turned all of those seeds into dirt. That allowed us to expand all of the dirt to the open area that we have for this plant gatherer. After that, I went ahead and grew some more lime logs, and that allowed me to get a pretty good bit of the Inferium essence. We've still got a few openings here, but I'll get those as time goes on. We've got enough now to where it's gathering this stuff pretty quickly. But I think this is a pretty good place to call the episode. Let me just check to see if we have any achievements associated to this. So, Age of Farming, obtain an Inferium Seed, count a jar, sugarcane. I think that's pretty much it for now for us. So, I don't know what else we can do for now, but this opens up an excellent progression for us. We'll end up getting the Inferium stuff, which will allow, or the Supremium, which is the end game of this, and that'll allow us to get all of the greatest, the greatest furnaces. There's swords, there's pickaxes, shovels, there's everything. There's full sets of gear. There's a bunch of stuff in this mod, so this will be a good thing to progress us in a lot of the tools and stuff like that, make things a lot easier. But for now, I think this is a good place to call the episode. Sorry if the episode seemed a little bit all over the place this episode. I ended up recording a large portion of it, probably about 3 to 4 hours worth of gameplay, and me building all of this and describing everything, you know, what I was doing with the pulverizers and stuff like that. But the audio for it ended up getting corrupted, so my voice didn't get captured on any of it. So if it seemed a little bit fast-paced compared to what I normally do, or if it seemed a little bit slow from like time lapses and stuff like that, or just, you know, blank gameplay, that is the reason why. But next episode will be a lot better. I'll make sure everything's set up well next time. But as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. And with that one, I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.